Okay, we're all set. Then let's get going. I'm looking forward to our new house. Seeing Sage smiling at me makes up my mind even more. Then I receive one phone call, my husband's name on the display. When I answered the phone, my husband started talking hurriedly. Oh, hey. Where are you? My house is in a hell of a mess. I was calm whereas my husband panicked. Look, you're going to regret this a lot. My name is Abril. I'm a cartoonist working on a series in one of the comic magazines. I specialize mainly in girls' manga, and I have been asked to make a film about it as well. Thankfully, it has been well received and I am regarded as a successful public figure. I live with my husband Bendek and my daughter Sage. As a cartoonist, I had a hectic life. Manami is doing well and growing up rapidly. When Sage was first born, I was drawing cartoons with Sage on my lap while I was drawing cartoons. At first, I had to support her neck, which was still not sitting, while my right hand held a pen. That she gradually became able to sit on my lap. And Sage, next to me, started to imitate me and spend time drawing cartoons. Watching her grow up made me want to do my best too. Even when I was frustrated and rushed by deadlines, seeing Sage was a calming influence. However, when Sage started going to kindergarten, my husband's company started going into deficit. My husband works in the delivery business, and today more and more people shop online. Courier services also have more competitors, and the job itself is getting tougher and tougher. Results and quotas are demanded. The husband's company must have been affected by such trends of the times. I'm home, I'm tired, I'm hungry. He came home with a grumpy face, probably exhausted from work. And he only had minimal conversation with me. When I think back to the time when I was a lowly worker, I think I understand his feelings a little better. I tried my best to support him as much as I could. Bath tab. Yes, I will get it ready right away. Dad, I was in kindergarten today. Sage the husband is still in his room playing his hobby, video games, without even listening to the Sage, your dad's a little tired, so we'll talk on your next day off, okay? Okay. My husband wouldn't come out of his room. Apparently, he quit his job. He spends all day from morning to night in his room playing video games. Sometimes when he opens his mouth, he says, dinner, bath. The only time I go out and lounge around in my room all the time is when I buy a new game. Because of my job as a manga artist, the more I sell, the busier I am. It was very hard to make a living. It was very difficult to work while being busy with housework and childcare. Hey, where's the meal? Hold on a sec, I'll finish this scene and then I'll get ready. What the hell, you can't even cook a meal at home. You don't even cook well. He is unemployed, a parasite on his wife, and complains without fulfilling his role as a father. I thought about divorcing my husband many times. But my kid is innocent. He is the only father for Sage even if he doesn't do fatherly things. I swallow the word divorce when I see Sage's smile. Mom, how are you? Are you okay? Do you want to go see the doctor? I must have looked terrible when I was thinking about that. Sage was always worried about me. One day, as usual, I was about to send Sage off to work. My husband came out of his room wearing a suit. Instead of the usual shaggy-haired, pajama-clad husband, his hair was trimmed and he was clean-shaven. I hadn't seen my husband like this in years. What's wrong? You have something up to? I'm going to a job interview. I don't want my dinner tonight. And then, he left. Apparently, a friend of his had introduced him to a job. I was a little happy, maybe my husband would change. Of course, many years have passed. It may be difficult to restore our relationship to the way it was when we first met. But maybe my husband will get out. Then we might have more conversations again. And maybe he will love Sage too. We might be able to regain our happy life together. My imagination is growing in the right direction. I feel like I'm making more progress at work than usual. I think I'll prepare something tasty today. Yes, a hamburger steak. His favorite hamburger steak. Today is the anniversary. The anniversary of my husband's recovery. But at midnight, he hadn't come home yet. Sage tried her best to stay awake and wait to see her dad in his suit, but she couldn't overcome sleepiness and fell asleep on the sofa. In front of me is my daughter with her cute sleeping face and a wrapped hamburger patty that has gone cold. What could have happened? Maybe you're depressed because things didn't go well, or you had an accident on the way there. Perhaps it is the nature of cartoonists, but they come up with one bad story after another. Maybe I should call the police after all. It's still strange that he hasn't contacted me. Anyway, the moment I opened the door to go take another look around the house. I'm home. Bring me some water. My husband, drunk, fell on me. What's going on? I was worried about you. I was having a drink with a friend. Can't you at least make one phone call? That's annoying. I'll be leaving tomorrow, so I'm going to bed now. Hey, how was your interview? What catches my eye is a cold hamburger. He went to bed without even taking a bite. I feel like an idiot, tears well up in my eyes. I'm ashamed of myself that I was getting excited. The next day, he went out again. After that, he frequently went out to meet with friends and came home late. I can't see Daddy. Is he busy with his work? Yes, he just started, so he must be busy. I don't know where the heck my husband is going. But I had noticed the smell of perfume on his suit when he came home. I didn't miss it. I didn't want to admit it, I was afraid to ask, I didn't dare to be convinced. Are you going out again today? You're really annoying. Why don't you just shut up and draw comics? There's no way to say things like that. You're annoying. You should just go to work. Dad. Don't pick on Mommy. He glanced at Sage and went out. Mom, are you okay, Sage? I know you've been putting up with me for a long time. You have me on your side. I hugged Sage and sobbed. I have to be strong for her. I have to be brave, I'm determined. I looked at my husband's phone while he was taking a bath. Thank you, Bendek, for another wonderful evening. Hannah, will I see you again tomorrow? Of course, I'm looking forward to it. My prediction was correct. I was prepared for this, but it was a shock to actually witness it. He is coming out of the bath. I hurriedly put my phone back and made up my mind to stay at my desk and work. My husband checked his phone as soon as he got out of the bath and went into his room without saying anything. He went out the next day as usual. I immediately went into his room. I don't have time to cry and sleep for Sage's sake. I have to get proof. I found some receipts in a drawer. Receipts for juice, snacks, and video games. Some receipts included there. What is this? It was a receipt for a luxury brand. Bags, wallets, shoes. Apparently, he is giving her a gift of luxury brand goods. The other party is probably Hannah, I can only assume. But why such a large sum of money for an unemployed husband? What is he doing with it? That was the question. Sage, I have to go to work for a while to do an interview. Would you go to your auntie's just for today? I've already told Auntie. Okay, Mom, have a good day. I had asked my sister to take care of Amy without telling her to investigate her husband's background. To follow my husband. My husband left today saying he was going to meet a friend. I followed behind him, who had no idea what was going on, with my breath hitching behind him. Trying not to lose sight of him, but staying as far away as possible so as not to be noticed. My husband seems to be waiting for someone, I watch him closely. Then a woman comes in. Pink dress, high heels, brown hair neatly curled. In his hand is a branded bag, and perhaps that dress is also branded. She is young and beautiful, a completely different type of person from me by any stretch of the imagination. She walked out with her husband, arm in arm. Then they went into the store. I stared at them from outside. The husband smiles like I've never seen him smile before, and the woman leans over to him and looks happily at the ring. It's as if she's probably never even done any housework. She put the ring on her finger and happily showed it to him. Then he paid the bill. That's when I was astonished. He was using my credit card. I have 2 credit cards, one with high rewards and the other with unique benefits and services. They are called a main card and a sub card. I've been using it to accumulate points efficiently, but I haven't been able to use the sub card for a while. That's why I've been making purchases with only my main card and keeping my sub card in a drawer lately. The reason I had it in a drawer was because I had so many other loyalty cards. My wallet was getting squeezed. If I had checked my accounts and statements properly, I would have noticed it, but I was too busy to do so. My husband must have noticed my behavior. I used it once to try it out and see if it would get noticed, might also have been looked at. I could find receipts from luxury brand stores in my husband's room, but I can't believe I didn't see this coming. I am angry not only at my husband's selfishness, but also at myself. I almost shouted out in frustration, but I suppressed my anger and continued following him. Thank you again, Mr. Bendeck. I'd buy anything for you, Hannah. Really? Then take me on a trip for my birthday in 2 months. Great. A trip? We've never even been on a family vacation before. I guess you'll be using my credit card for that, too. Okay, 2 months from now, I'll be ready in 2 months. With revenge on my mind, I headed to my sister's to pick up Sage. Mom, you're back. I'm sorry, Sage, did you behave yourself? Thank you, sis. Sage, is there something you want to show your mom? Yes, I'll go get it. My sister removed Sage from the spot and asked me. How was it? You went to the scene of the affair, right? What? How did you know? Sage told me. She's been watching Bendeck a lot. He doesn't like Mom anymore, so. He was probably going for another woman. I didn't think you were really going to the cheating site, sorry for the coyness. Sage said so. My sister didn't believe me at first, but when she saw my face, she realized something was wrong and put the comma on me. Sage said she was on your side. Sis, Go ahead and fight. I'm on your side too. As I listened to my sister's story, I began to weep raggedly, as if a thread that had been taut was broken. Meanwhile, Sage came back to the house. The sister and Amy were painting together and have drawing paper in their hands. As expected of a Brill. She's a manga artist, she's really good at it. That's Mom and that's Dad. But you drew Dad very close to the edge. Daddy's making Mommy suffer. Daddy hates Mommy, so I don't like Daddy either. I hugged Sage and she patted me on the head. With such a reassuring ally, I decided that I was no longer afraid of anything. 2 months later. My husband left home to go on a business trip for a week. Here we go. All right, I'm all set. Let's get going. I'm looking forward to my new home. Seeing Sage's smiling face only solidified my feelings. Today Sage and I are moving into our new home. I wonder if my husband is enjoying his trip with his cheating partner right now. Look, you'll have a lot of regrets. 3 days later I received a phone call. My husband's name is on the display. When I picked up the phone, my husband started hurriedly stringing out words. Hey, where are you? The house is in a hell of a mess. When her husband returned home from a 3-day, 2-night affair trip, he found an empty, shell-like room. I was gone, Sage was gone, and moreover, all my luggage was gone. My husband panicked and called me. Oh, we moved out. What? What are you talking about? My husband is screaming because he has no idea why, and I am calm in that regard. It's not me or Sage that you want to be with, is it, Hannah? What? What are you talking about? Don't try to fool me. I know everything. I think you already know how serious I am, don't you? He remains silent, as if he is surveying the empty shell of the room once again. After a short pause, he began to make excuses this time, as if he had lost his temper. No, she just hooked up with me, I didn't start it. I sent you the divorce papers. I'm happy for you. Hey. Wait a minute. I hung up the phone and took a big breath. It's not over, I'm not done yet. It was a few minutes later. A call from an unfamiliar number, I can pretty much guess. Hey. What the hell do you think you're doing? A woman who is furious without even saying hello. It is unmistakably Karakoko, the woman with whom he is having an affair. Apparently, after returning home after a flirtatious trip, she met up with her husband. She forced him to give her my phone number. What the hell were you doing sending all those packages? Are you crazy? He just snapped at me. She was actually married to another man, now living with her husband. Hannah was also traveling with Bendek, telling her husband that she was on a business trip. At that time, a large amount of packages arrived at Hannah's house. Inside you'll find men's clothes, underwear, and even video games. Hannah's husband finds Bendek's name in the package. Then he found a letter attached to the package. Your wife is having an affair with my husband, Bendek. They're traveling right now, because we're moving in with our daughter. I'll leave it to Hannah to take care of Bendek. I'll send her a package. Hannah's husband also seems to have been vaguely aware of his wife's affair. The letter apparently led him to ask Hannah. As a result, Hannah was kicked out of the house. Hannah's anger boiled over when she learned that it was I who had rushed to meet with Bendek and sent him on his way. She called me immediately. What is wrong with you that you would send your own husband's belongings? I wrote down all the details, didn't I? Didn't your husband understand it well? You're the reason I got kicked out. You have Bendek, don't you? He's a good friend of yours, isn't he? You even drink with him every night. No matter what I say, I won't budge, while she gets angry. I'm a victim too. Your husband said he would pay for this trip. He suddenly told me he didn't have the money and I had to pay for it. I know that you live as a parasite on the rich husband. You have no right to stop my husband's credit card. I'll make sure you get your money back for the trip. For a moment, I didn't know what he was talking about, but I quickly understood. I'm the heir of a large company and I'm supporting my wife who can't do anything. In this way, the husband had deceived Hannah with a false explanation. Totally, scumbag, how rotten can you get? Hannah, he's the one, the parasite. Bendek is unemployed, my card is my card, I just stopped my card. What? I can almost imagine him flinching next to her. Hannah's fuming voice over the phone, Bendek cursing. Hey, Abril. At least give me your card, or at least the money for the trip. I'm not going to get away with this. I'm not going to be left alone, and now that Sage is here, I'm going to put my mind back into it. What are you talking about? Sage is so happy to have a new home for the two of us. You don't have to come back. And Hannah, I'm going to charge you alimony. I said, what? Wait a minute, I don't work, how can I pay you? Say something. Hey, Abril, wait a minute. That's all I have to say. I'll tell you exactly what I said. So, goodbye. I will never forgive the two of them, no matter how much they cry to me. After hanging up, I immediately blocked both of their numbers on my phone. We then went through our lawyer and the divorce was finalized. Bendek and Hannah were to be sued for alimony. Bendek will also be charged for Sage's child support and credit card bills. Hannah was also kicked out by her husband for this and got divorced. Bendek tries to rely on Hannah, but Hannah can't forgive Bendek for cheating her. Hannah also abandoned Bendek, and he was left alone in the world. He is now working part-time and paying alimony, child support, etc. I will not relent, and I will not hesitate to collect if there is even the slightest delay. And Sage and I are starting a new life together. Mom, you're looking better. Thanks to you, Sage. I love you, Mom. Sage says this with a big smile on her face. I want to keep this smile, no matter what happens.